Good morning, everyone. I'm Shota Deolusegun. In today's video, I want us to dissect debating on whether mathematics is discovered, invented, or given. Where I watched a video on YouTube. It was hosted by Brian Greene. So they debated on this particular topic. So I want to share my own idea on this topic. Well, if you look at, we need to take each of these words: discovered, invented, then given. When something is said to be discovered, what we're trying to say is that what is being discovered is hidden. And so, as a result of the effort put in place, then we are able to make what is hidden known to people. That is that for discovery. Then invention. Invention deals with development of what has never been in existence. So, in a nutshell, we make what has never been in existence to be in existence by creating or developing that particular thing. And then the last one, given. Given could be associated to property, and property could be visible or invisible. So they are just part of an entity, something that make up an entity to fully function as what it is designed for. So these are the three things, and based on what I've just explained, now we're going to see the eligibility of these three words to describe or to to describe what mathematics is. So now, discovery, we can actually liken knowledge to something that is discovered, because when something that wasn't known initially became known, then you say that thing is being discovered. But the point is, the information of what is now known, can we say that information has never been in existence? The information is there, it's just that the information is not known, it is hidden. And so once it is made known, then we can say we have discovered that. Then for invention, we can actually use for instance, let's say but basically what I want to talk about this invention is humans are being created to be creators and not inventors. Because I have a poem in which I argue, I have invention versus creation in that poem. There I argue, and in that poem I try to clarify the fact that invention is being bastardized as a result of love for money. You understand? So instead of us settling down for what is genuine, what is fact, so we settle down for whatever as long as it works. You understand? So that is why invention is being bastardized. But the point now is, we humans, we have that power to create, or rather let me say invent, because I usually want to use create because that's what we're meant to be. You understand? So basically for AI, it's something that has never been in existence before, and we developed that to be in an existence. We have robotics and other things that we have created as humans. You understand? So that is a typical example for invention. But there are many possible ways to make things there are many possible ways through which we can actually get things done. You understand? And so we need to look for the most appropriate way to get things done, like the most ideal way to get things done, in such a way that it will not be detrimental to human health. You understand? So having some scientists, or let's say modern scientists, having them to settle down for probabilistic nature of quantum is quite uncalled for. You understand? Basically, that might be what they are limited to based on research, but based on resources. But I'm not going to actually agree to that, because we have scientists of the old that in their time they didn't have uh, access to any resources, and yet they were able to come up with theorems. They are able to come up with formulas. They are able to come up with equations that deal with fact. You understand? They work extra miles in getting all those things established. You understand? And so we can say that by now, that even the what is it called, quantum physics, is being gotten by the old scientists. You understand? And even this current, the modern scientists, they are building on what the old scientists have worked on. And that is why I have this particular word on the board, which says, "Hard times breed strong people. Strong people create good times, and good times breed weak people." So this is a more of a cyclic momentum in the world, because when things are tough, we tend to walk extra mile to establish things. You understand? So as a result of that, we become people that are so strong in achieving that. And being strong will create good times, and by the virtue of good time, then people could be so relaxed, and then that good time will build or breed weak people. So we have to always work hard, irrespective of the moment or time we find ourselves, in order to get fact and to establish what is right. So what I'm trying to say is that look at what we enjoy by nature, what we enjoy, like the oxygen we breathe in, that oxygen that we breathe in, that is beneficial to our health, to mankind. That is what is being polluted, that becomes carbon monoxide, that is detrimental to human health. So basically, we need to actually walk extra mile and get things done the way they ought to be discovered. You understand? So I'm not saying this to talk down the modern scientists. Scientists are great people. They work extra miles, and as a result of their effort and energy, we have the current civilization. And now we can say we have solar power energy, which is not in any way detrimental to human health. You understand? So they are still making discovery, but what I'm trying to say is that discovery that we are making, are we making discovery that are so beneficial to mankind? That is what we should focus more. Well, I give kudos to scientists all over the world, because they do work extra mile to establish, to get things done. And as a result of that, there is a sacrifice they pay in return, because for you to make what is not known, there will be a sacrifice that must be paid. And most of these scientists, they pay the sacrifice. At times they get psychologically declined, or they get psychologically declined. They You understand, because it is so much challenging what they pass through to get things done. So kudos to them. Now let's go to given. We know that given deals with things that is already part of us, more or less like the property that is needed for us. So now it is given deals with properties, like attributes that are needed to sustain the human existence. So a typical example of that, and in relation to maths, if maths is discovered, invented, or given, is that we have chemical letters in DNA. You can see that even the language that is given to us is a property of our being. You understand? So now, once we have that chemical letters, we know that the letters, they have their shapes. And if mathematics is the ideal tool in describing shapes. So we know that we have integration of mathematics too in our system. So mathematics is given. That is my point. Mathematics is given as a necessity. So being a being of, or being somebody that God has created to be a creator, then we need mathematics, because mathematics, like I said in one of my videos, mathematics is a language of creation. You understand? So we need to understand what math is developed to achieve. And so once we understand the relations of mathematical symbols, like the relations of mathematical notations, then we'll be able to know how to use mathematics more effectively. So now, what I'm trying to say now is that we can say mathematics is given because the shape, like we have every entity in this universe has shape. So flowers have their shapes, and so humans have their shapes. So everything has shapes. So, and since mathematics is the description of shape, so it's just that mathematics is hidden to us, but it is not really so hidden, because we can see the shapes of all these entities. So properties that you have may be visible, and it could as well be invisible. So that is why I say mathematics is given as a tool that we need to be that creator that God wants us to be. So basically, now let's talk more. Let's dissect the diagram on the board. Now, if you have been watching my video, you'll be so conversant with this diagram, because I use it a lot. Now, this is time energy wave model. We have energy wave and then time wave. So energy wave travels inversely to time wave, and as a result of that, we have the expansion of space. And expansion of space is basically to allow for existence of an entity. You understand? Because when you have a wide time scaling relative to narrow energy or low energy, that is actually telling you is pointing to emergence of mass convergence. You understand? So basically, here we now have the diagram. This singularity we have here is evolutionary singularity, and then this singularity is a future singularity. You can call it black hole. Now, this triangle that we have here is equilateral triangle. I used this in one of my previous videos, because based on the formula of everything, it's more or less like linear solution. You understand? So I use this diagram to explain how, I use the triangle to explain how the triangle of the past is flipped to form the triangle of the future. And so we have inverted triangles to form the whole circle of the time energy wave model. And so if 180 of this triangle and 180 of this triangle, if they are summed together, we have 360 degrees. And if we extrapolate that, we have the real circle. You understand? So now the wave is not going to be in circle. So since we have a singularity here, and time trajectory and energy trajectory, they are traveling towards the singularity of the future. And so because it's a combined force, they can actually travel through the singularity. So once they travel through singularity, that will actually stretch the circle, and so it will be in form of oval shape. So that oval shape could be likened to what we have here, which is 369. You may be familiar with this 369. It was Nikola Tesla said, if we really want to know the reality of the universe, we should think in terms of vibration, frequency, and energy. So it has 369 as a unique number or secret number that one has to decode in order to know the secret of the word. But I have a poem on this particular 369 where I shed more light on the powerful nature, the powerful combination of 369. You understand? So that poem, but for me, instead of saying that we should think in terms of vibration, frequency, and energy, I said we should think in terms of worth, reality, and energy. So what do I mean by that? When you look at the symbol right here, this is the combination of 369. Now you have this circle, that is the circle of both 9. You can see that the 9 is pointing to the past, while this 6 is pointing to the future. Then we have 3 right inside. Now 3 is more or less like a connector through which the power that is coming from the past can get into the future. So 3 is the point of present in this diagram. So now, what is present? What is present? Present is now. But when we look at the time peregrination, we know that events usually expire into the past. So the present is something so tiny that events just usually, slip through and enter into the past. And then the future seems like something we cannot really get hold of because we keep on moving forward at a short instance and we don't usually, capture the entirety of what future is. So basically, what that is telling us, the present that we have here, don't be flabbergasted if I tell you that the present is a combination of future and the past, and I'm going to actually prove that for you here. Now we have the past. By the virtue of the past encourages mass formation, because here, as energy is traveling inversely to time, the space is being created such that there is room for mass formation. But the thing is, what this quantum portion, don't forget, formula of everything is developed to unify classical mechanics to quantum mechanics. So what we have at quantum region here is something that is so difficult to explain, because as energy is traveling inversely to time, it's expanding. At the same time, that energy is being contracted in a way, because the radiation that is being generated is used in mechanical of that mass convergence. So energy is contracted inversely to wide scaling of time, and that is what relativity is actually all about. Relativity talks about dilated time to length contraction. So that is what we have here. You can see that mechanics, the mechanics is so powerful. So there is no way we can get to know the whole of universe, its mechanics, if we are being restricted within the system. So we need to travel beyond to have the full picture of classical mechanics and quantum mechanics. And that is the reason the trajectory we have to travel beyond the limit of time energy wave model to get the actual mass worth of electron. So basically what I want to prove here is that the past region is converging mass, while the future is what? The future is decaying mass. Those are the past deals with mass creation, the future deals with mass decaying. So we can say the past is we can say nuclear fusion is associated to the past, while nuclear fission is associated to the future. So now if I tell you that even the constant portion, which is the present, the vertical line, the present here is the combination of future and the past. What do I mean by that? What I'm trying to say is this: when you have this present as vertical as it is, as the present, I mean, if you have it as the future and the past will be this region, while the future will be here. And since future is contracting towards the singularity, and it deals with decaying of mass, it is that future that is actually grounding our feet on the earth that makes us to actually stand firm. Don't forget that the past is actually, you know, traveling towards the outer part of the earth. But the speed difference factor that we have at quantum level is actually compensating for the variation that we have in classical gravity. And that is why we could stand firm on the earth. You understand? So if you look at it, you see that the present, like we can say the present is we as we are now. So there may be some events that will come from the future and then travel through us and then go into the past. But as we are aging, we are moving forward into future, into a very tiny portion of future, and then they get expired into the past. So basically, as we are, the entirety of us is what we can classify as the present. And so what makes us to stand firm on this earth is the combination of the future and the past. So how can we define the present? We can define the present as the uniform momentum of the past in combination to the future. So that is the way we can. So when you see this vertical line, you know it's telling you that it is constant. That means there is no movement. It is vertical, it is instant, no movement at all. So when you have uniform motion, it is being classified as inertia. So basically, we have the present, we have the future, the combination of the past and the future as the vertical present that ground our feet on the earth. Good. So now, if we look at this momentum phase, this is the position phase. We have momentum phase right here. Now, you can see that time is now behind the energy. If we have this kind of structure, you know that what we have here is being flipped. So what is that telling us? That is telling us that there is a possibility of some creatures that may be walking on their head instead of feet. You understand? So in a situation where it is being flipped in this momentum phase, then definitely what will be grounded will be the head and not feet again. So I don't want to sound metaphysical. I'm trying as much as possible not to sound like that. But basically, the advancement of science is actually moving towards something that is more fascinating, something that could be tagged as miraculous or magical. Well, in one of my books, I have a book which is The Invention of Time Technology. That book is so powerful, and basically I said there that we should be so careful and we should make sure that whatever that technology will bring forth as we bring forth should just be for the benefit of mankind, that we should always, let it be for the benefit of mankind, because that technology is very, very powerful. So now when you look at what we have here, there is I actually received one message from Open Quantum Institute to submit idea on a particular project. So they are trying to get use cases for quantum computing. Then what I submitted was later declined. But basically, it amazed me because they are trying to find use cases for a technology that has never been fully operational. And then you have a solution that could make that technology to be operational, and that solution was declined. But what I want to say is that if you later have any solution that has to do with what is it called? Qubit optimization by using my formula, which is formula of everything. just know that it is my idea. So I'm working hard to get it published on another journal anyways. But basically what I did, I used the formula of everything to optimize qubit, because the comparative advantage that qubit or that quantum computer has over classical computer is for the fact that it has what is known as superposition. Then superposition, just as the way they have been dealing with superposition is being collapsed. But I need you to know that the collapsed state of a wave is different from the superposition's value. So what do I mean by that? Like if I'm to write a state, it will be something like this. If you have this something like a wave, you have equal to, then uh, you have alpha, then you have zero state like this. So you have zero state like this. You have this state, then you have plus, then you have beta, then you have one state like this. Now, if you look at what we have here, we have wave, state. You have wave, I don't know, we have wave right here. Now this 0 or 1 is the collapse state. Now this beta and alpha is the superposition, but we usually have this in fraction, probably 1/2, which is signifying the probabilistic state of superposition. But basically, the value of superposition must be trapped and be used in this computation for us to actually harness the full potential and full power of quantum computing. What am I saying? If you look at what we have here, we have wave magnitude, which is 5.7 times 10 raised power minus 48 at quantum level. When you supply this value into the formula of everything, the formula of everything is the T, the M equals to capital UM plus 4M. Now, if you supply this wave magnitude in the place of MM here, you will see that we have this value. So even within the time energy wave model where we have superposition, we can actually capture the mass worth of electron. And so you see that the value that we have is not even up to 1. We have 0.00000001423. It's not up to 0. So they need to actually normalize the collapse of the wave to 0 or 1, to 0 and 1, so that it could be something that computer can work with. Binary system is what we have as a language of computer. But basically, time technology is going to use something different from 0 and 1, because the difference between time technology and quantum computing is that quantum computing deals with the position that deal with the possibility of superposition in computing. You understand? It deals with the point that superposition can be to deal with computing. But time technology will actually model the universe as it is. So instead of having the nature of on and off, which is 1 or 0, or 1 and 0, just as we could have in quantum computing, then time technology will open, just as we have will expand and then contract. That is what time technology is going to do. It's going to model the true nature of universe for computing. So for that, we're going to have not 1 or 0. So we're going to have 4 sets of numbers. And 4 sets of numbers that we're likely to have will be 0 negative, 0 plus, 1 negative, 1 plus. Those are the 4 numbers that we have that will model the expanding and closing nature of the universe. So that's time technology. So basically, what I in that project that I published for Open Quantum Institute, there I use the formula of everything to optimize COVID such that we get the true nature of the superposition, and then that is supplied in the position of alpha and beta, and then that becomes the part of the computation in order to harness the full potential of quantum computing. You understand? So to now integrate that into quantum circuits, then I use, well, I'm not going to say what I use, well, but I use something there, then I use something to integrate it into the quantum computing, and so that is what I submitted there. So fine, now that we have uh, okay, this is the whole thing, but basically I want to talk more about the given nature, because I want to actually, drag my point on the given, how that given is actually the suitable one for math, to say that math is given. You understand? So now, when we look at, well, I'm a God-made scientist. You understand? So, and if you like what I explained there, what I explained here, if you look at it thoroughly, you see that the system, the mechanical system at quantum level is so fascinating that it's actually pointing to existence of supreme being. And the supreme being we're talking about is Almighty God. There is no other God except Almighty God. So I'm talking about Jehovah, the creator of the whole universe. You understand? So I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to actually, bring out some points from the Bible, because Bible is filled with lots of secrets that people don't know. So people, when they read Bible, they just read for fun, and some might even read for a spiritual build up. You understand? But basically, we may as well read Bible scientifically to understand the universe as well. So now, what I want to say right here is that given, we know that when something is a property, such thing is given. So I now want to establish that fact. If we look at Exodus 31 verse 6, we're going to see something so profound. So Exodus Exodus 31. Exodus 31. So we're looking at Exodus 31 verse 6. Okay, good. So we have it here. Look at what it says. It says, "And I, behold, I have given with him Aholiab, the son of Eliamash, of the tribe of Dan, and in the art of all that are wise, make all that I have commanded thee." Oh, sorry. Let me read that place again. I can't see it very well, so I want us all to say it together. So verse 6, it says, "And I, behold, I have given with him Aholiab, the son of Ahimaaz, of the tribe of Dan, and in the arts of all that are wise, hearted I have put wisdom, that they may make all that I have commanded thee." Sorry, let me read again. "And I, behold, I have given with him Aholiab, the son of Ahimaaz, of the tribe of Dan, and in the arts of all that are wise hearted I have put wisdom, that they may make all that I have commanded thee. Okay, please forgive me if I didn't read it very well initially. That's why I have to read it like 3 times. So it's good to actually have a repetition. You understand? It will, you know, solidify the belief, and it will, make it a concrete one. What you are to actually derive from that. So basically, there we can see that wisdom is given in that verse that we just read. Wisdom is given. Wisdom, skill. So what we have in this Exodus 31 verse 6 is that wisdom of craftsmanship is given to Aholiab. So wisdom of craftsmanship, wisdom of doing things with hand, great things, developing things, is given to Aholiab. That is number one fact. Then we're going to I want us to look at the power of energetic words that we'll find in Job. So now, let's go. We're going to read that together too. Okay, Job 38, verse 12 to. Now, here we have it. It says, "As thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the day spring to know his place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it." Now, let's read again. It says, "As thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the day spring to know his place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it." Again, "As thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the day spring to know its place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it." Now, what that place is telling us is that it's telling us the power of energetic words that is talking to Job. God is actually talking to Job there, that have you in any of your day commanded morning? That the only thing that we can, the nature of word we need to use in establishing things is to command. So when you have such an energetic words, you can actually make things to be in existence. So God is like saying that he's talking to Job, that when Job kept on complaining about his condition, he now said that, have you in any of your days commanded morning? Like morning, have you ever commanded it to be in its place where it's supposed to be, to stretch forth throughout the earth, such that it will be able to shake out the wicked people that are hiding in the dark? Can you do that as human? So that's God there talking to Job. So from there, we are able to see that the words that we speak has power. Even before you can actually pronounce anything, you do so by using energy. And so when your word comes with full energy, then it will actually manifest things. So basically, I'm talking as a I'm talking as a pastor now, and I don't want to sound as a pastor. You understand? So, but I just want to establish the giving part of this debate, and I'm like trying to give you some secret keywords in the Bible that even support scientific discoveries. You understand? And we're going to see more of that later. So now I want us to look at Job 38, verse 38. There we will be able to see mass formation. Mass formation. Bible now. Now, so here we have it. Verse 38, it says, "When the dust groweth into hardness, and the clouds cleave fast together." Again, when the dust groweth into hardness, and the clods cleave fast together. Again, when the dust groweth into hardness, and the clods cleave fast together. Now it is God there still asking Job that does Job know when that that kind of things when they happen in the universe. You understand? So the event of things coming together to form mass has always been in existence, and God is like opening our eyes to the process of how things clip together to form hard mass. You understand? So we have that too in the Bible. So now this one that we're going to look at is the one that supports my point right up here, where I said that the present is the combination of past and the future, and because it's a uniform momentum in vertical formation, then it is our present. You understand? So now let's look at that. That is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 from verse 11 to 15. So I want us to read it together. Okay. Now verse to 15, 11 to 15. So it says, he had made everything beautiful in his time. Also he had set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. Now you can see that place is talking about the future and the past. This portion says that God has he said, he has set the world in their heart. That is, it's talking about the position of the present at the middle, at the central point. So we are in that central point always. We are always in the present. And as a result of that, we don't know what God has done in the future and what he has done in the past. So you can see the mystery of the universe there. So verse 12, I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God doeth it, that men should fear before him. Now the verse 15. It says, that which has been is now, and that which is to be had already been, and God required that which is past. Look at that place again. It says, that which had been is now. That is, what has been in the past is now, which is the present. And that which is to be has already been. Even that which is to be, which is the future, is already in the now gone. You understand? So, and God required that which is past. So, okay, that's fine. Now, if you look at what I've just read, you see that is telling you that the future that we think in our own mind, we might think that the future is still not in existence. But what that place is telling us is that the future and the past, they are already in the present, which is now. So, for the fact that I've explained why we have the past, the present, and the future by using this model. Because we have this suspension of the mass, and that has caused lag in time. So if we have the whole of time entering into the singularity instantly as it ought to be, then there will be no universe. Universe will not be in existence. So the suspension is needed to drag, to cause lateness in time peregrination, and so we have the past, the present, and the future. But basically, for somebody that is in higher dimension, The person will not see the present, the past, the future. The person will see the occurrence almost at once. So that is that. Now, talking about almost at once, another thing I just want to point out quickly before I call it a day is that when you look at this time energy wave model, you know that the wave pattern is destructive, not constructive wave pattern. So if these waves should collide or collapse, like what we will later have in the future, when the time and energy, when they travel through the future singularity, like when the time energy wave model or time energy wave interaction, when it collapses, are we going to have nothing? That is the question we need to ask. So when this time and energy wave model, when they collapse, are we going to have nothing? Well, the answer will be no, because electron in motion has mass worth, even though it is tiny. And we shouldn't forget that we have proton and neutron at the nucleus of every atom, and that constitutes another mass worth. So the mass worth we have, and even if I don't want to use the mass worth that we have in motion for electron, this real mass worth value that we get outside the system, outside the time energy wave model, will actually constitute excess value that will be deposited in the second phase, which is the momentum phase. So when wave collapses, we don't have nothing, we still have something. So that is why the emergence of the universe couldn't have been from nothing. Though it may seem like it comes from nothing, but there are tiny mass words, you understand, that emerges as the emergence occur. So that's what I would just have to say. Well, I think, I don't know, I just try my own effort based on my capability to say that mathematics is not discovered, neither is it invented, but was given. Mathematics is given. Mathematics is given. So that is my own opinion as regard that. I hope I have done justice to that. So if you like the video, please make sure you like the video for real by clicking the like button, and then don't hesitate to put down your comment. I wish to know what your opinion is on this video. Then make sure you subscribe to this channel so as to be notified for subsequent videos. There are so many other videos that I will upload that will be so informative and insightful as this. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. Then share the video. Make sure you share the video with your friends. It's a novel discovery. I'm going to put the link to my research publication in the description below, and as well I'm going to put a link to my books on Amazon, so you can get my poems. My poems, they are actually filled with a lot of wisdom, and so if you want to have uncommon wisdom, you can get my poems on Amazon, and then build yourself more on that. So basically what I'm trying to say is that there is an intervention of external force into our reality in the universe. So we need to believe in Almighty God, the creator of the universe. And if you really want to stand out, you need to fear God and honor God in all that you do. Do not let anybody deceive you that there is no God. There is a supreme being that created the whole of the universe. Then another thing I want to quickly say is that, well, I have a poem, another poem that one thing I want to point out, that one thing that makes mathematics to be so outstanding or to be so fascinating is that mathematics deals with inverted nature of the universe. It deals with inverted nature of the universe, and we can see that with these triangles that we have right here. Then another thing you need to know is that everything that we have in this diagram has purpose. Like this diagram now, this triangle is equilateral triangle. It has 3 equal sides. And what is that telling us? What that is telling us is that the triangle has 3 line symmetries. It has 3 line symmetries. It has this central symmetry. It has another symmetry that cuts across like this. Then another symmetry that cuts across like that. And the benefit of that 3 line symmetries is that it has rotational symmetry of 3 order. So that means that then all these electron spin and all that rotation and everything, we can have it by having this triangle right there. But in that my poem, there is a poem I published. I call that poem. I named that poem my name. Basically, it is more or less like a tribute to one Greek philosopher or poet called Shotades, where Shotades, his name is also my name, which is Shotade, you understand? So that poem, I name it Shotades. So that poem, there you can get what is called Shotadeology. Shotadeology is just the study of words in a way of palindromic poems, in a way of palindromic writings, you understand? So palindromic writing is having words being flipped such that the words that you read from left to right the words that you read from left to right could as well be read from right to left. So that is palindromic poem. So that poem, when I have those sets of poems and I started reading, I realized that the weight of the word that is read from left to the right is more vibrant as that same word is read from right to the left. So we can get to know the potential of word, or the weight of the word that we use, by getting to know both sides of the word as well, which is the same thing as what we have in this time energy wave model. So there is possibility for us to even have in our language the description that mathematics is trying to elucidate. We may as well have it for language. So language, mathematics as language of creation are so powerful. Language, I'm talking about our own native language that we speak. So every language has its letter. English has ABC. My own native language, which is Yoruba, has ABD, FE, Gigbe, and so on. You understand? So every language has letter. And so once you understand the letter, what every letter could be used for, then you get to harness the power of the words, the language that you speak. So language, word that we speak is powerful. Mathematics is powerful. Language is given, mathematics is given. Thank you. God bless.